What do you say, everybody? Welcome to Last Call with Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillespie. We're going to talk about the 8A game that Keelon Russell stole the show in today. What does that mean? We're going to get into that right here on the show. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Timeout Sports Lounge is your spot to go gamble just like you're out in Vegas. 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar. You got the kiosk. You got the window. You got the individual kiosk. Got all that stuff going on for you right there at Pearl River in Philadelphia. Hour and change from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. Go check it out. All right. That's Jay Coker. I'm Mick Gillespie. This is our show open. All right, there he is. Championship quarterback Jake Coker.
What's up? What's up?
Mick Gillespie. Yeah.
Spring game time, getting closer.
Man, we were going to do a show earlier, and they're like, hey, maybe we should watch the spring game. And then good thing we did. Keelon Russell, he put his – I don't know if he won the job today because I thought he was going to be the starter anyhow, but he's got some talent.
Yeah, spring games, it's always I don't know if you can ever really gauge how good your team is based on a spring game, but you can at least see where guys are, within the offense, within the schemes. And I mean, Keelon Russell looks like he's been, one of the guys that's grown the most throughout spring and really throughout his time here. I mean, to me, what I was looking at the most was, okay, who in this receiver room is going to step up for Isaiah Horton, step up when he leaves, and how's Keelon Russell going to look today? Cederian Morgan, I mean, he made some plays today, made some really good plays, and showed that he's got some feel for the game. Keelon, obviously, we talked about has a lot of talent, but also made some throws today where you can tell he's seeing the field and he's understanding what his assignment is, and showing some real feel for the game. And then Cederian Morgan, same thing. I know he caught at least one touchdown pass. The catch that I liked the most, though, was the vertical with one high safety. It was Keelon put it right where it needed to be, but also Cederian Morgan hitting his landmarks and running routes, especially that route with some precision and understanding of, hey, we got one high, I'm keeping it vertical, not going to bend it, and give my quarterback an opportunity to lay it in there in a hole where I can make a play. Obviously it's a spring game. It's not real live rounds, but you get somewhat of a glimpse of, where these guys are, and some of these plays speak for themselves. So moving in the right direction offensively. You want the offense to look good, but you don't want them to look too good to where there's red flags on defense. So you like to see guys on both sides make some plays, but don't want to see any glaring weaknesses. I think some of these guys looks like the first team O-line. A lot of the names that we thought we'd see. I will say this: I getting used to all these new names. We've got a Barstool top 10 name, and Khalifa Keith.
Yeah,
Khalifa Keith. That's a new name to me, but that's one of those good ones.
Yeah. When Alabama took the field for the first team offense, it was Austin Mack, not Keelon Russell, but it was Austin Mack, Kevin Riley, Ryan Coleman-Williams, Lotzier Brooks, Noah Rogers, Javian James, Michael Carroll, Rayson Delgetti, Mal Waltrip, and Jackson Lloyd. And not that really matters. I mean, just interestingly enough, that does give you an idea of what we're looking at. But then Keelon Russell just moving the ball down the field, making plays, looking the part. And he's got the NIL money too. He's the highest rated prospect recruit Alabama's ever had. There's just a lot of things going in his favor, but he can play on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he can play, and you saw some of that. It's kind of one of those things that we had talked about on previous shows is, and again, we don't know where we are right now. We don't know how dominant and physical we're going to be up front. But some of those touchdown throws and completions that he had, he's moving within the pocket, getting outside the pocket, being accurate on the run, and I honestly, I think, especially for a team that's going to have a lot of new faces on that offense, you're going to have that. And he had a couple touchdown throws on the run. Was accurate, made plays on his own. And that's going to be key to this offense being successful this year, in my opinion. And
Dijon Lee did pick off Keelon Russell, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean,
face.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. I had a pick six in my spring game in Alabama. I think it's kind of part of it. Defense is going to win some, offense is going to win some, and there's some 5 stars on that defense as well.
I don't want Jim Dunaway getting mad at me, but kicker Connor Talty missed a 38-yard field goal.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Sorry, Jim. I still like him. He made some kicks down the stretch. Quinn actually made a couple field goals today. So, I like the competition. Lorcan Quinn, you know what, dude, go out there, the Marshall transfer, kick some damn field goals. Let's go, baby. We got to have somebody that is guaranteed money at the kicker spot. It's such an important part of playing football, and you don't have a kicker, you play these close games, you could lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, this is part of Kalen DeBoer building a program that's going to compete year over year, and we're not in a place to be complacent at any position.
Nope.
Although we were in the playoff last year, anybody who's a Bama fan that's been around a while, that loss to Indiana is not going to be acceptable moving forward, and that can't become tradition here at Alabama. So,
yeah.
I mean, nobody needs to feel like they've got their job secure right now. That's for sure. I mean, it's when shit hits the fan, everybody needs to be looking over their shoulder. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, everybody should have to go earn their job, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, there's a few guys that are gonna play and be productive. I mean, like Lotzier Brooks. I mean, Ryan Williams is one of those guys. I think everybody's a little bit different, but there's a handful of guys that are so talented that are going to be productive and probably need a little bit of a confidence boost. One of those guys to me is Ryan Williams. I mean, he's probably the most dynamic offensive player on the field.
Right.
And you got to have him, and he's got to believe in himself, because there's not many guys on that. I mean, Lotzier Brooks to me is probably right now, based on last season, is probably the most complete wide receiver we have in that room right now. Just consistency, physicality, mentality, all that. I mean, I don't think you can throw that guy in a blender and jack with his mind too much. I think just the way he plays, he's one of those hard-nosed guys, a lot like to me reminds mentality-wise just fearless like Ardarius Stewart. I mean, the guy can go drop 2 balls and nothing you say to him is going to matter. He's already determined to catch the next ball. He just dropped 2 balls. I mean, it just is what it is. His confidence isn't gonna, you're not gonna torpedo his confidence in any way, and he's not gonna not believe in himself. He's mentally tough, and he's gonna get it done. Ryan, I think, just 17 years old, coming in with those big plays, and then all of a sudden having a little slump. I think that'll jack with anybody's mind a little bit. So, like to see him make a few plays today. Always good to see that. I want to see him really take on that leadership role though this year. Maybe get away from all the noise outside. I'm not on social media a ton, but I don't see all that stuff going on as much.
Right.
So
that's an understatement. Hey, did you see Noah Rogers got carted off the field? He was injured on that pass near the end zone, that incomplete pass.
Yeah, I did.
I hope he's going to be okay. You know, obviously we're waiting on, at least when we're recording this podcast, we don't know what the deal is, but it's never good when somebody gets carted off. And I had him on my top 10 list, top 5 list is, I think number one of the top guys I felt like joined Alabama this year, newcomers, whether it be freshmen or transfers. But, you know, he came from NC State. He had 3 touchdowns in 2 seasons and 919 yards. And then all you heard in spring was that he was a contributor, like, all over the place. And then he gets hurt.
Yeah, yeah. He's one of those, to me, he's one of those dark horses, kind of like you said, you know, I mean, yeah, that may have flown under the radar a little bit in recruiting. I mean, no knock on NC State, but, you know, one of those guys that wasn't an Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia type guy out of high school. And that was just, to me, some guys fly under the radar. And he's one of those one of those guys that Coach Saban talks about, getting the lesser team's best players, you know, that prove themselves with other programs and come in and really dominate, or maybe not dominate, but contribute at Alabama. And I was really hoping he was going to be that guy, and he could be. We hadn't heard about his injury, and man, hate to see springtime injuries that aren't full speed in games. You know, I mean, I hate to see them at all, but hate to see it happen before they even get on the field.
Yeah, man, I know. God, I feel the same way, and I hope he's okay. What else did I have notes on? I didn't think Austin Mack looked terrible. You know, I just feel like
you feel that momentum.
I just feel like Russell just kind of like that. This was the first time where we're like, it's go time, and Russell in front of the, you know, it wasn't a huge crowd. I mean, they've nerfed these spring games so much, you know, like 12 to 15,000. How many were at your spring game?
I don't know. There's a pretty good bit though. I don't remember too much. I mean, it obviously wasn't a game day type atmosphere, but there was a good bit of people there. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say there's probably 50,000 people there. I know it got pretty loud for you know, big plays, touchdowns, all that. So, you know, it was probably about like an ACC crowd.
That's really funny. Gotcha. Hey, guys, let me tell you about Patriot Roofing and Builders, 205-919-4494. These guys got you covered, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and points in between. And when I tell you that they got you covered, I mean, you call the phone and they're going to answer. Will and Justin don't mess around, man. They also give you free inspections, whether it's for a new roof or maybe you just suspect that you need your roof checked out. They do siding, they do gutters, windows, and full home renovation. So give them a look. That's free inspections when you call Will and Justin. Patriot, 205-919-4494. And we're really glad that they're part of our team here. Next round and last call. So what do you think now? I mean, if you're Keelon Russell, you had this game, you got to separate yourself. I think if it's even close, he's going to get it because he's just a longer investment. Although I also feel like Max earned, with the time that he's put in, an opportunity to be the quarterback. But either way, like if it's Russell, what are you doing? And if it's Mac, what are you doing after this spring game? Give me both guys. Start with Russell.
You know, this is a situation where I've felt for Mac the whole time. I mean, you kind of you see the way this is going, right? I mean, this is a little bit different than Jalen Tua. I mean, Mac hadn't had a chance to start yet, but he's been around and he's been very loyal to this coaching staff. I always got a special place in my heart for guys like Mac who work their ass off and stick around when you know, he could have been gone last year. And you know, the spring game with this kind of hype around Keelan, it's going to be very hard to keep him off the field. You know, it's even if he just comes out and absolutely tanks, and the only way he's not the starter is if he absolutely tanks during camp, and even then it's going to be somewhat of a short leash, right? And nowadays with NIL, you've got a guy in Keelon Russell who's I don't know off the top of my head what he's getting paid, but I know he's getting paid more than Mack is, and so the pressure's on to get him on the field. There's a lot of people paying him money, and they're going to want to see him on the field. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a different landscape now, and I still Mack's a guy we can count on to play, and it's always good to have two good quarterbacks in that locker room. I hate to make an early call and just blow Mack off.
And you've been there too, man. I mean, you've been the backup behind, and then here comes a very, a super prospect, a guy that ended up.
I mean, man, when I was coming through my last spring at Florida State, it's again, you block out the noise as much as you can, and just hope that your work pays off, and not all the time. It doesn't all the time. Sometimes it just is what it is. And I mean, going into my last spring there, I felt like Jameis and I both had good springs. Jameis had some hellacious throws in that spring game, and the hype machine just blew up, and so you feel that outside noise. And for me, it was more motivating. That was probably, I mean, one of the biggest motivating factors in the offseason was, hey, just trying to block that out. And you got to work even harder to be that guy because, I mean, for all the reasons I just stated about Mack or Keelan being the guy because of all those, outside factors, the noise, everything else. I mean, you got to work that much harder to prove to the team and the coaching staff that you're the man. And it's got to be undeniable at that point. So, you either look at it as, hey, it's time to leave, or you buckle down and really start getting work in off the field when nobody's watching, and watching film in the office, studying when you're at home. It's got to be football 24/7. I mean, again, when Jameis had his big spring, that was going into my third year at Florida State, and with all that hype going on, I mean, I went to Jimbo, and I was like, look, I'm not going to be strung around. Is this job still open? Am I still going to have an opportunity? I mean, I straight up asked him that. I just said, if I've got an opportunity, then I want to get after it, and I want to try to be the guy. If you made up your mind, you need to tell me. And he was like, no, it's wide open. So I stayed and worked my ass off and got a lot better. I mean, that was between my second and third year at Florida State was my biggest leaps as a quarterback, getting better, just because of the time put in and the work, the work
right.
put in.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, I would, if I was, again, that's just me though. I mean, I wanted to make sure, have that conversation with Jimbo. And
right. And let me say this too, because you just mentioned something that's worth mentioning. You said I got a lot better. And that, if I'm Austin Mack, is the one thing I can control. And I heard Tom Brady say something very similar to that when he was backing up with a guy that he was backing up. I forget the guy's name, but when he first got to the NFL, he's like, look, I got like 2 reps. I made him perfect. I got 3 reps. I made him perfect. In those competitions, getting better every day, because we all assume that Mack's going to transfer if he doesn't get the job.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're saying is, yeah, you may transfer, and you did, and it paid off for you, but you also went through that season as the backup.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. And I think it's a very humbling experience. And in the long run, I probably could have left Florida State a year earlier and gone to Alabama. But I think the I think that year, sticking around and getting better was one of the best things that I ever did. And I got
Drew Bledsoe, by the way. It was Drew Bledsoe. It was Drew Bledsoe. That was who Tom Brady would backed up. But yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But, I think I got a lot better and, throughout that process. And I got a lot closer with Jimbo too, and a lot closer with my teammates. It was it was really one of the best things I ever did. Because and again, I talked to Jimbo. He said I had an opportunity, and I believe him. And he looked me in the eye and told me that. And we had we had a couple meetings where we sat down for a long period of time talking about all that. And it really strengthened my relationship with him. And again, even though I was not named a starter, it was we became a lot closer, and I got a lot better because him and even though I was a backup, I got a lot more involved in the game planning stuff, and I felt like I could speak to him a lot more honestly, going through the offense and getting better. And man, I tell you, because when I first got there, I had the mentality of I've gotten a lot better at this, but just shut up, do your job. Yes, sir. Move on. That's it. You don't talk back, just get it done. And that's I think it's a good, humble approach, but I think a lot of young players sometimes don't know how to communicate, some of the issues they're having with the offense or how they're being coached and getting on the same page with their coach. And so, after that spring happened, I was able to go in there and talk to Jimbo about really every issue I had and learning the offense and what I need to do to get better and how I'd like to move forward with Florida State. Man, it was one of the most freeing feelings I've ever had, and made me feel so much better on that practice field. And in the case I was getting to a game, really understand where Jimbo was coming from. That would be my advice to Mack. You got to go have some honest conversations with the coaches. And I don't mean that in that, hey, your opportunity's gone. It's time you got to be real honest. And you also got to be real honest with yourself and accountable with yourself. Have you done everything you need to do? Are you doing what you need to do to be the starter? And get some feedback from those coaches so that you really understand, where you need to be here in a few months. What do I need to do in the next few months to get better to where I can get on the field? Right. And focus on those things. And you know what? Even if you aren't the starter, I can tell you from firsthand experience, just getting better on and off the field as a football player, as a communicator, as a teammate, again, it could be one of the best learning lessons you've ever had in your life and sets you up for a better outlook on life moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, let me tell you guys this. We love our guy Keith, and he's got you covered. Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City, Maryland, right there on the OC coast, right there by the boardwalk, right there by everything that you love, including great restaurants like the Green Turtle, who sent us some, but a lot of other great restaurants too. The Boardwalk Crabs, I love them. Beautiful views, Secrets Bar. This is really a wonderful place to spend your time and your money and get away and relax, recharge your batteries. It's back-to-back coastal style hotel of the year. So you guys are going to love being there. And when you go in, make sure you give Keith a high five and yell Roll Tide at him. Former wrestler too. So if you do the Hulk Hogan flex, he's going to appreciate that too.
Don't be acting up.
Give him one of these.
You won't be acting up in the hotel bar.
Yeah. He might come in and slam you. He might choke slam you. All right. Final thing I want to get into on the show today. These are the stats I got, right? Keelon Russell, 21-33, 240 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Austin Mack, 6 for 12, 101 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So, the stats really look great for Russell. Russell threw 3 touchdowns to receivers, including Cederian Morgan. You talked about that. So it's good to see the freshman kind of getting out there doing some things.
Man, with his body, he's going to have to get involved. And I'll tell you, when the coaching staff came down and I guess it was either late January, early February, one of the guys that Ryan Grubb talked about just really, really emphasized how impressed he was Cederian Morgan. Not only his body, but just he seems like that guy who's going to be able to play early. And that really got me excited because he's a guy that you and I talked about just watching his high school stuff and his workouts.
Yeah.
Just a guy that really impresses you. He's just fluid. You don't see many guys that are that big that have that kind of fluidity at that position. And, when I saw him on that vertical, look, I know it's one route, but when you watch a guy run a route against coverage, one-on-one routes for one thing, it shows athleticism and it shows precision cuts, but when you run routes like verticals, you're getting up past the first level defender into the secondary, and when you're getting vertical, especially the way he did, you can tell he had a landmark and he understood what defense he had and where he needed to be based on that defense. So, I think these guys in high school now, or coming out of high school now, play so much 7-on-7. And a lot of people make fun of 7-on-7 all the time. And sometimes it is, they take it too far, but I think they're doing so many 7-on-7 camps now. These guys really have a lot better understanding of how to run routes in high school than they used to.
Lotzier Brooks touchdown, Derek Meadows touchdown, Marshall Pritchett touchdown. So there you go. And
Lotzier Brooks.
What's up?
I'm probably the least concerned with Lotzier Brooks. He's the guy that I worry about the least. I've never met Lotzier Brooks, but when you watch a guy play,
you
just know. I already know what kind of guy he is. I feel like I know what kind of guy he is. He's the kind of guy that you want on your football team. I just clutch moments, freaking just throwing his body out there. It's like, hey, that guy, I want you on my team. He's
so much. I agree with you, man.
He's probably my favorite returning player this year.
Well, guys, hey, there's you go. There's your A-Day show. It was a good A-Day. Wasn't like the old school ones, but it was still way better than last year and the year before. We got a lot of action. We got a chance to see, maybe the future of Alabama football. You guys get in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Make sure you're a subscriber to the next round and a part of our show. Like and be a part of this thing, man. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. We'll see you over at Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta you can play. 2 18 holes, amazing golf courses, the Azaleas, the Oaks, Philip M. Steakhouse. Coker, you and I got to get there soon. It's time for us to go play a little golf, eat a steak, watch you out on the slot machines, the table games. I'll be dancing with the bands. Fluffy Iglesias is coming, the comedian. They always have like great comedians and bands. That's Pearl River Resort. It's hour and a half, maybe a little bit further from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. We appreciate them. Roll Tide, my man.
Roll Tide.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve.
Hey, Jake. You ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom! Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays
at Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't